My mother's last gift to me wasn't just a necklace, it was her heart, wrapped in silver and memory. When my mother-in-law tried to destroy it, she didn't expect the chaos that followed. I was 27 when Mom died. The cancer came fast, a thief in the night, stealing her laughter, her warmth, her everything. In her final days, she pressed a small velvet box into my hands, her fingers trembling but her eyes steady. "Ellie," she whispered, "this is for you. Wear it when you need me." Inside was a silver necklace, a delicate chain with a pendant shaped like a crescent moon, etched with tiny stars. It wasn't expensive, but it was hers, passed down from her mother, and now to me. I swore I'd never take it off. 2 years later I married Tom. He was kind, steady, the kind of man who'd hold your hand through a storm. But his mother, Margaret, was the storm. She had a smile sharp enough to cut glass and a tongue that could wound deeper than any knife. From the moment we met, she sized me up like I was a rival, not her son's wife. "Oh, Ellie, that necklace is quaint," she'd say, her eyes lingering on it with something I couldn't quite name. Envy? Disdain? I brushed it off. Family's messy, right? We moved into a house just a mile from Margaret's, a decision I regretted by week 2. She dropped by unannounced, rearranging my kitchen, commenting on my cluttered decor, and always eyeing that necklace. "You wear that thing every day," she'd say, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "Isn't it heavy?" I'd smile, touch the pendant and say, "It's my mom." That usually shut her up. For a while. The trouble started at Thanksgiving. Tom's family gathered at our place, a cozy but cramped affair. Margaret arrived with her usual air of superiority, carrying a casserole nobody asked for. I was in the kitchen juggling a turkey and my nerves when she cornered me. "Ellie dear, you should let me help with that necklace. It's looking tarnished." I froze. The necklace wasn't tarnished, it gleamed, polished by my constant touch. "It's fine," I said, my voice tight. She smirked and walked away, but I felt it. A line had been drawn. That night, after everyone left, I noticed the necklace was gone. I'd taken it off to shower before dinner, leaving it on my dresser. My heart sank as I tore through the house drawers, cushions, even the trash. Nothing. Tom helped, his face pale. "Maybe it fell somewhere," he said, but his voice wavered. We both knew better. The next morning I drove to Margaret's. I didn't call ahead, I wanted the element of surprise. She opened the door, her face a mask of innocence. "Ellie, what a surprise. Coffee." I didn't bother with pleasantries. "Where's my necklace?" Her eyes widened, then narrowed. "I don't know what you're talking about." But her hand twitched, and I saw a flash of silver peeking from her pocket. "Margaret," I said, my voice low, "give it back." She laughed, a cold, brittle sound. "You're so dramatic, Ellie. It's just a cheap trinket." She pulled it out, dangling it like a taunt. This is what you're so obsessed with." My blood boiled, but I held my ground. "It was my mother's. Give it to me." For a moment I thought she would. Then with a sneer, she raised her hand, the necklace glinting, and smashed it against the edge of her coffee table. I screamed, lunging forward, but the pendant didn't break. It hit the table with a dull thud, leaving a dent in the wood. Margaret froze, her face a mix of shock and fury. "What the hell is this thing made of?" she spat, raising it again. I tackled her, not proud of it, but I wasn't thinking. We hit the floor, grappling like kids in a schoolyard. The necklace flew from her hand, skidding across the room. I scrambled after it, heart pounding, and grabbed it. The chain was bent, but the pendant was intact. I clutched it to my chest, tears streaming down my face. Margaret stood, brushing herself off, her face red. "You're pathetic," she hissed. "Crying over a piece of junk." I didn't respond. I couldn't. All I could think was how close I'd come to losing Mom again. I walked out, ignoring her shouts, and drove home. Tom was waiting, his face a mix of worry and anger. I told him everything. He didn't speak for a long time, just held me as I cried. The next day, Tom confronted Margaret. I wasn't there, but he came back shaken. "She admitted it," he said. "She took it during dinner. Said she wanted to teach you a lesson about valuing family." I stared at him. "What family?" "She tried to destroy the only piece of mine I have left." Tom nodded, his jaw tight. "I told her we're done. No more visits. No more games." I wanted to believe him, but Margaret wasn't the type to back down. Sure enough, she didn't. A week later, she showed up at our house banging on the door. "You can't cut me out," she screamed. "I'm his mother." Tom opened the door, his voice calm but firm. "You stole from Ellie. You tried to hurt her. You're not welcome here." She raged, called me names, but Tom stood his ground. When she finally left, I felt a weight lift, but only slightly. The necklace was safe, but the damage was done. I took it to a jeweler the next day. The chain was fixable, but the pendant had a tiny scratch, barely visible. I didn't care. It was still Mom's. Still mine. But the incident left scars deeper than that scratch. Tom and I started therapy, trying to navigate the fallout. Margaret sent letters, texts, even showed up at Tom's work, pleading for forgiveness. I didn't buy it. She wasn't sorry, she was sorry she got caught. Months passed and the story spread. Friends, neighbors, even Tom's cousins heard about Margaret's stunt. Some defended her, saying she was just protective of her son. Others called her unhinged. The divide sparked heated debates at family gatherings, with people taking sides over wine and pie. Was Margaret a villain? Or was I too attached to a silly necklace? Was Tom right to cut her off, or was he betraying his mother? The questions hung heavy, exposing cracks in relationships I hadn't noticed before. One night, Tom and I sat down with the necklace between us. I told him about Mom, how she'd worn it through her own battles, how she'd smiled when she gave it to me. "It's not about the necklace," I said. "It's about what it carries. Her love. Her strength." Tom nodded, his eyes soft. "I get it now," he said. "I'm sorry I didn't before." We decided to set boundaries, not just with Margaret, but with anyone who couldn't respect what mattered to us. It wasn't easy. Family ties are tangled and cutting them hurts. But sometimes protecting your peace means drawing a line in the sand. The necklace hangs around my neck again. Its weight a comfort. Every time I touch it, I feel Mom, her laugh, her hugs, her quiet courage. Margaret tried to take that from me, but she failed. The pendant didn't break, and neither did I. But the fight left me wondering, what drives someone to hurt another's heart so deliberately? Was it jealousy, control, or something deeper? And how do we balance family loyalty with personal boundaries? I don't have all the answers. Maybe you do. What do you think? Was I right to fight for that necklace, or should I have let it go? Is Margaret the villain here? Or is there more to her story? Share your thoughts. Let's talk about what's fair, what's family, and what's worth fighting for.